Hey, everybody. So, I wanted to end up discussing something that I don't think comes up too often. I don't see too many videos on it, but I wanted to discuss the tabletop role playing game Black Crusade. More importantly, what does it mean to be a Chaos Space Marine? Now, in lieu of recent and not so recent experience, I will end up telling you that if the Space Marines that I've run into, the Chaos Space Marines that I've run into in character, have anything to say about it, what you're basically dealing with is a fraternity of the beer and fart jokes. And really, you will end up finding that this kind of game, while maybe amusing for a grand total of 5 minutes, doesn't really give you much of an experience. So I figure I end up helping a few people to dial it in just a little bit, and maybe help you end up understanding what's going on in some of the Marines' heads when they end up turning to the traitor legions. And the first thing you need to end up coming to grips with is, while often referred to as the traitor legions, the fallen, that's not how Chaos sees it. You were betrayed. The God Emperor of mankind, that corpse on a golden throne on Terra, said no to any ambition, any stray thought, any curiosity. He said no. He took away your life and the lives of your brothers to be tossed into the meat grinder while holding you up in this lofty pedestal as being a humanity's angel of death to purge the heretic, the Xenos, the witch, the mutant, all others that did not belong. And you might have questioned why. Why? So grounded was your thinking in serving the emperor in all that you've done that that one dangerous question, why, can unravel so much. Just questioning the emperor will lead to chaos, so it's told. But for you, you're free. You're free from rules that just hold you back. You've been given great power. You are the apex of what humanity can become. You stand tall amongst crowds of normal people, these emperor fearing people. And most of them are forgotten about, if not meat fodder. You were put on a pedestal. You were raised far above. But the higher you are, the further you fall. That's what they'll tell you. No. See, when you heard the whispers of chaos, it wasn't an enslavement. It was realizing you were already enslaved. Everything you were was just built up to be something, and anything that was actually you, any that little seed of ambition, of imagination, of growth, was stamped down, but not in you. They couldn't stamp it out of you. You ended up growing. You found ways to exercise your ambition. And the more you did so, the more you heard the whispers of chaos, the more you've seen how strong you really are. Not just in holding the Xenotide back, but in earning the respect, the admiration, the raw physical power, the wisdom of ages. Your lifespan can almost seem endless compared to those who may only live 20, 30 years before being snuffed out, their life given for an emperor that couldn't be bothered to remember their name. But they'll remember yours. Why is this so important? Because at the end of the day, that anger that Chaos Space Marines will often hold is they were entrapped. They were held back. They were locked in. They could have been so much more, but because of how the Emperor has decreed it, however, the Codex would end up telling you to live your existence, giving your life for a purpose, and your purpose was to die in the Emperor's name. It's a waste. It's a waste of potential. It's a waste that is unjust. You are more than that. You know you can be more than that. But you have to stand up against those you would have called brother. You have to stand up against legions of people who dedicate their lives to the Emperor in order to follow this path. That kind of personal strength is so rare to come by. But you're not in it alone, are you? No. Those whispers, those moments of clarity, maybe a vision, those come from the warp. More than likely, from one of 4 chaos gods, maybe multiple, trying to vie for your attention because they see the potential in you further than you can see in yourself. They can help you become more than you ever dreamed. Of course, it's going to cost you something, but what's one soul versus becoming legend throughout the galaxy? To have the ability to stand against this tyranny that the Emperor of mankind ends up deciding to push against you. Each Chaos Space Marine differs, is unique. There's a reason that they adorn their armor with spikes and engravings and trophies. There's a reason that no 2 Chaos Space Marines are visually the same. Because it's not the group that truly matters. It's what one individual can do. The rest are tools to be used to help you ascend. But the second that you try and push it alone, you're throwing away your gifts and your potential, dying for nothing. You will not die for nothing. Hell, if you play your cards right, if you have that conviction of character and individuality, you might not die at all. You might ascend to something more than human, more than this superhuman status that every Space Marine carries. You might ascend to demonhood, become a demon prince, a right hand to your deity, be it Korn, Zinch, Nurgle, or Slanesh. That is power. And it's not just meant to be, I am a badass and you will end up listening to me. No. It's much more than that. Even the most overzealous Korn berserker knows that chaos does not suffer foolishness. If greatness was all you had in physical might, you won't last long. The universe chews people out. Also, if you have only knowledge, maybe sorceries at your disposal, at the end of the day, one stray bolt round can end that. Or a chainsword ran through your guts. You need to be so much more. You need to be cunning. Cunning sometimes means you need to work with the devil. You need to be able to outsmart the devil. Thankfully, you work with devils of your own, your warband. Now, who stays as a leader and who is it that falls to the wayside is entirely based on their own methods, their own merits. But everybody has a free shot, a chance to express who they are, explore what they can become, to not be shackled and held back for no reason, for unjust reasons, because you were tied to a chapter, because you were tied to the Emperor's service. You can be so much more. When you say to your brother that you will set them free, it'll be through this wisdom that you can impart, or by bolt around between the eyes. It does not matter. What matters is setting them free. You might even show a little bit of pity towards those who can't understand this, but you'll be the first to espouse it. To jump on top of a ship, board it, and kill everyone on board, that's might serve a medium amount of attention. But to turn that ship, to give them that gift of insight, to understand that they can be so much more, even a human being under the Emperor cannot grow. It cannot become more. It cannot find itself. It cannot be forged in the fires of chaos. But if given the opportunity and a small taste, they can come right on into that forge, be rebirthed in the eyes that lurk in the warp. And because of that, they come to follow you, seeing you who've guided them away from this enslavement of the Imperium, and who've shown them that you can stand against the tide. What does it mean to be a Chaos Space Marine? It means that you are an individual who stood up against tyranny. It is you who have shown that by merit alone, by strength alone, you are capable of ruling and creating the universe in your image as you would see it, because you can do better. And what can stop you once you have the favor of the Chaos Gods? Once you have shown strength, conviction, that not of just might, physical arms, or army, but of character, yeah, you can become a lot more. So the next time you think about rolling a Chaos Champion, think about what it means to be Chaos, to be run by this hatred of being betrayed, to find this freedom in chaos, to barter with powers that are incomprehensible, and have legions following your example at your side, that your warband locks shoulder to shoulder, because for as much as their individuality may cross yours, at the end you all have that understanding. Death to the false emperor.